without even mentioning their founder. We've seen Brian Jones described as a kind of rotting attachment. This phrase in itself gives an idea of the magnitude of this story. The dark power of the Stones' music derives from their internal battles, a sequence of betrayals, backbiting, sexual one-upmanship, violence, madness, and mania. The aim of this book is not to gloss over the many flaws of Brian Jones, for if ever a man was driven by his flaws, it was he. His contrariness, his vulnerability, and his unhappiness prompted his estrangement from the establishment and ultimately would underpin the values of the band, which challenged that establishment so provocatively. There was a darkness in his heart that inspired his exploration of the devil's music, of the story of Robert Johnson, the man who traded the secrets of guitar playing for his immortal soul. Brian sought out those secrets and was the first man to communicate them to a new generation. It was he who opened the doors to that new world, unlocking its secrets both for his bandmates and for us. In the course of writing this book, I've travelled far and plumbed deep. It's a sad story of messy lives, unwanted children, ruthlessness and misogyny, of feuds both petty and profound. But great art can come from messy situations. As we shall hear right from the start, there was something of the devil in Brian Jones. And as we know, the devil has the best tunes. 1. Secrets and Lies. New worlds are often dreamed up in the most mundane locations. Few people would have imagined the genteel, manicured spa town of Cheltenham as a cradle for a radical new musical manifesto. But the place turns out to be funny that way. Countless secrets have been harboured behind those deceptively staid facades. Brian Jones was in fact a typical Cheltonian. By the time he left the place, he'd discovered more musical secrets than were ever supposed to exist, as well as amassing more secret children and heartbreak than can ever have been imagined. The word genteel seems to get applied to Cheltenham with monotonous regularity. And yes, perhaps it is an appropriate adjective as long as you bundle in alongside it the following words: secretive, exotic, futuristic, sordid, elegant, decadent, and artistic. Nearly all of those terms capture the early life of Lewis Brian Hopkins Jones, a boy whose destiny seemed more than any other dictated by his surroundings and upbringing. He was the son of an ambitious man who worked at the cutting edge of a world-changing technology. Lewis Blunt Jones was, like the son who carried his name, a genius. Yet his life was defined by secrets, repression, and the traditional British stiff upper lip. This legacy would also define the life of Lewis Jones Jr., for better and for worse. Any visitor who's new to the town would be instantly struck by the serene beauty of its gleaming white Regency buildings. A long white promenade runs south from the High Street, location of Brian's grammar school, down to a group of buildings around Lansdowne Crescent and Montpellier Walk, all airy shops and coffee bars, framed by caryatids, pillars in the shape of serene women, like those of the Acropolis. Over the road lie the fine green lawns of Imperial Gardens, with the Queen's Hotel just in front. A little further down is the Pump Room, another jewel of Georgian architecture based on the Pantheon. Regency terraces stretch in every direction, the very model of taste and discretion. But as Barry Miles, founder of counterculture journal International Times and the Indica Gallery, who fled Cheltenham in 1962, points out, it's all a facade. The elegant stone frontages of many buildings are, in fact, cheap painted stucco. The interiors are rickety and damp, thrown up quickly by speculative builders. With its exclusive ladies' college, arts and musical festivals, and well-heeled populace, many of them ex-colonials, post-war Cheltenham was indeed a centre of decorum and conservatism.